8 million people, one tiny island. The most expensive city in America, New York City, where dreams are made and bank accounts are destroyed. Before you pack your bags and buy that one-way ticket, watch this entire video, because what I'm about to show you will either confirm your dream or save you from the biggest mistake of your life. Let's get into it. Let's start from the beginning. In 1626, a Dutch trading company purchased a small island from the local Native Americans for the equivalent of $24 worth of goods. They called it New Amsterdam. The British took it over in 1664 and renamed it New York. For the next 200 years, it grew into America's busiest port. Every immigrant ship from Europe passed through here first. Irish, Italian, Jewish, Chinese, they all came through New York. They all left their mark. By 1900, New York was already the second largest city in the world. Then came Wall Street, then came the skyscrapers, then came Hollywood glamour, even though Hollywood is 3,000 miles away. New York became a symbol, not just a city, but an idea. The idea that if you work hard enough and want it badly enough, anything is possible. That idea still pulls millions of people here every single year. But the reality in 2025? It's complicated. Let's break it down. Let's talk about the number that matters most, money. Because New York will test your finances like nowhere else on earth. Rent. The average one-bedroom apartment in Manhattan costs $3,500 per month. That's $42,000 per year, just for rent. Brooklyn, $2,800 per month. Queens, $2,200 per month. The Bronx, $1,800 per month. Staten Island, $1,600 per month. And these are averages. Good neighborhoods cost much more. Food. Groceries in New York run 30% higher than the national average. A simple lunch at a cafe, $18 to $25. Dinner for two at a mid-range restaurant, easily $100 with tip. But here's the thing, New York also has the best cheap food in America. A slice of pizza, $3. A hot dog on the street, $2. Chinatown dumplings, $5 for 10. If you know where to eat, you can survive cheaply. Transportation. Good news, you don't need a car. A monthly Metro card costs $132. That's it. The subway goes everywhere 24/7. Compare that to cities like Houston or Atlanta where you need a car and spend $800 a month on car payments, insurance, and gas. New York actually saves you money there. Taxes. Here's the painful part. New York has some of the highest taxes in America. Federal income tax up to 37%, state income tax up to 10.9%, city income tax up to 3.876%. Yes, New York City has its own tax on top of state and federal. On a $100,000 salary, you take home about $67,000. After rent, you have $25,000 left for everything else. That's $2,000 a month for food, clothes, entertainment, savings, and emergencies. It's tight, very tight. The bottom line. Financial advisors say you need at least $80,000 a year to live comfortably in New York, $100,000 to actually save money, $150,000 plus to live well. Anything less and you will feel the pressure every single month. New York is not one city. It's 5 completely different worlds called boroughs. Let me walk you through each one. Manhattan. This is what you picture when you think of New York. Skyscrapers, Times Square, Central Park, Wall Street, Fifth Avenue. Manhattan is the most expensive and most exciting borough. The Upper East Side, old money, museums, quiet, tree-lined streets, perfect for families and professionals. Midtown. Tourists, offices, chaos. Nobody actually wants to live in Midtown. Lower East Side and East Village. Young people, nightlife, art was cheap 20 years ago. Now, not so much. Harlem, historically black neighborhood with amazing culture and food. Rapidly gentrifying. Still more affordable than downtown, but changing fast. Brooklyn. Brooklyn has become its own brand. Williamsburg, hipsters, brunch spots, rooftop bars, $3,000 apartments. Park Slope, families, brownstones, farmers markets, strollers everywhere. Bushwick, artists, murals, underground music scene. Still relatively affordable, but for how long? Bay Ridge, old school New York. Italian and Arab communities, more space, more quiet, more affordable. Queens. Queens is the most diverse place on Earth, not in New York, on Earth. 160 nationalities in one borough. Astoria, Greek community, great food, close to Manhattan, surprisingly affordable. Flushing, the best Chinese food outside of China. Seriously. Jackson Heights, Colombian, Indian, Nepali, Tibetan, all on the same block. Queens is where real New Yorkers live, not the Instagram version, the actual city. The Bronx. The Bronx has a reputation, and it's changing. Yes, parts of the Bronx have higher crime rates, but it's also the birthplace of hip-hop, home to Yankee Stadium, and the most affordable borough in New York City. Riverdale in the Bronx is actually one of the nicest neighborhoods in the entire city. Nobody talks about it. Staten Island. Staten Island is New York's forgotten borough. More suburban, more quiet, more space, more affordable. But here's the catch. You need a car, and the commute to Manhattan takes 45 to 60 minutes by ferry. Most people who move to Staten Island end up leaving New York entirely within 2 years. Now, let's talk about why people actually come to New York. Finance. Wall Street is still the center of global finance. JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Citibank, BlackRock. Entry-level finance jobs start at $80,000 to $100,000. Managing directors make $500,000 plus. If finance is your world, there is no better city on earth. Tech. New York is now America's second largest tech hub after Silicon Valley. Google has 12,000 employees in New York. Amazon, Facebook, Apple, they all have major offices here. Average software engineer salary, $140,000. Media and fashion, New York Times, Condé Nast, Vogue, HBO, NBC, ABC. If you want to work in media or fashion, New York is the only option. Healthcare. New York has some of the best hospitals in the world. NYU Langone, Mount Sinai, New York Presbyterian. Nurses make $90,000 to $120,000 here. Doctors, significantly more. Hospitality and service. Not everyone comes to New York for a corporate job. Bartenders in Manhattan make $60,000 to $80,000 with tips. Servers at nice restaurants, similar. The service industry in New York pays better than almost anywhere else. For immigrants specifically, New York has always been an immigrant city. There are communities for every nationality. Jobs that don't require perfect English. Neighborhoods where you can build a life step by step. Many immigrants start in Queens or the Bronx working 2 jobs and within 5 years own a business. That story still happens here, every single day. If you're moving with children, here's what you need to know. Public schools. New York City has 1,800 public schools. Quality varies dramatically by neighborhood. The best public school districts: Bayside, Queens, Park Slope, Brooklyn, Riverdale, Bronx, Staten Island generally. The worst areas for schools, I won't name them, but check greatschools.org before you choose a neighborhood. Specialized high schools. New York has something unique. Elite specialized high schools that are completely free. Stuyvesant High School, Bronx Science, Brooklyn Tech. These schools produce more Nobel Prize winners per capita than most universities. Your child gets in by exam only. If they're academically strong, this alone is worth moving to New York. Universities. Columbia University, Ivy League, NYU, top 30 in the world. Fordham, the New School, City University of New York. CUNY is particularly important. It's the largest urban university system in the United States, and it's affordable. Let's address the question everyone is thinking. Is New York safe? The honest answer, it depends completely on where you are. Overall, New York City is actually safer than most people think. Compared to cities like St. Louis, Memphis, or Baltimore, New York is extremely safe. The murder rate in New York is lower than the national average. Safest neighborhoods: Battery Park City, Manhattan; Tribeca, Manhattan; Upper East Side, Manhattan; Park Slope, Brooklyn; Bayside, Queens; Riverdale, Bronx; most of Staten Island. Areas to be careful: parts of East New York, Brooklyn, parts of the South Bronx, parts of Harlem, improving rapidly. The subway. This is where most people have concerns in 2024 to 2025. There have been high-profile incidents. The media covered them heavily. The reality? Millions of people ride the subway safely every single day. Basic rules. Stay aware of your surroundings. Don't look at your phone on empty platforms. Trust your instincts. Avoid the last car at night. Follow these rules and you will be fine 99% of the time. Now, here's what travel guides won't tell you. The secrets that actual New Yorkers know. Money-saving tips. Number 1. Never buy groceries at the corner bodega. Find your nearest Trader Joe's, Aldi, or Asian supermarket. You'll spend half as much. Number 2. The best free thing in New York is walking. The High Line, Brooklyn Bridge, Prospect Park, Central Park, Governor's Island in summer. All free, all incredible. Number 3. Happy hour is sacred. $5 drinks from 4 to 7 p.m. at hundreds of bars. Learn the happy hours near your neighborhood. Number 4. Outer boroughs for the same experience, half the price. Best pizza, not Manhattan. It's in Staten Island and Brooklyn. Best bagels, not Midtown. It's in Queens. Best coffee, not Soho. It's in Astoria. Number 5. The library card is underrated. New York Public Library gives you free museum passes, free ebooks and audiobooks, free language classes, free events. Most people never use it. Apartment hunting tips. Look in February and March. Least competition. Landlords more willing to negotiate. Avoid broker fees. Use StreetEasy no-fee filter. Broker fees in New York can cost 1 month rent. That's $2,500 to $3,500 you can save. Consider roommates seriously. 2 people splitting a 2-bedroom in Queens for $2,400 pay $1,200 each. That changes everything financially. Commute tips. Get a City Bike membership, $185 per year. For short trips, it's faster than the subway and cheaper than Uber. Download the MTA app. Real-time subway tracking will save you hours of waiting. Walk when it's under 20 minutes. New York is more walkable than you think, and you'll stay in shape for free. I went through hundreds of Reddit posts from people who actually moved to New York. Here's what they said. One person wrote, "I moved from Ohio with $3,000 saved. Got a serving job the first week. Moved into a room with 3 roommates in Queens for $800 a month. 2 years later, I had my own apartment. 5 years later, I run my own catering company. New York is hard, but it works if you're willing to grind." Another person wrote, "I lasted 8 months. The noise, the crowds, the cost. I had a panic attack on the subway and booked a flight home that night. No shame. It's just not for everyone." A third person wrote, "I came from Mexico City thinking New York would feel big. It didn't. It felt like home. The diversity, the energy, the food. I've been here 12 years and I'll never leave." 3 different people, 3 completely different experiences, same city. New York doesn't treat everyone equally. It rewards hustle and punishes hesitation. So let's be honest about who should and shouldn't move to New York. New York is for you if you're ambitious and driven. You work in finance, tech, media, fashion, or healthcare. You love diversity and culture. You're comfortable in small spaces. You earn or will earn $90,000 plus. You're single or a couple without kids. You thrive on energy and stimulation. You're an immigrant ready to work hard. New York is not for you if you need space and quiet to be happy. You're on a tight budget. You have young children and limited resources. You value a slow, comfortable life. You hate cold weather. You need a car for your lifestyle. You're looking for work-life balance. Here's my final take on New York. This city will ask more of you than any place you've ever lived. More money, more energy, more patience, more resilience. And in return, it will give you more opportunity, more culture, more experience, and more stories than anywhere else on Earth. New York doesn't promise you success. It just puts you in the room with people who are chasing it. What you do in that room, that's up to you. So, would you move to New York? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see the next state in our series, subscribe right now. Next week, we're going to California, and trust me, you're going to want to see that one. See you there.